And with that, we should be ready to get started. Let me know if you can hear this. Just send a 1 or something with a lisp. I don't know. You do you, man. Alright. When last we left off, we were on Dave, so let's do a Kings vs. the Bass. Let's be real. As much as you enjoy your new friends, they'll seem a little lonely. Okay, you're lonely not too lonely. Like, maybe they don't have any friends because the ones they talk to online? Is online friendship a reasonable alternative to a more traditional face-to-face relationship? Are relationships, dare you say, families that you choose not just as important, if not more so, than those you are able to touch and feel? Oh, this one hits close to home right off the bat. My goodness. Damn, maybe being a little too real. Yeah, that's, ouch. You decide not to think about it too hard, good choice. But if you're being honest with yourself, maybe you aren't terribly interested in the greater context of found family and interpersonal relationships in the instant message era. You've got fever, and the only cure for this disease, called friendship, is to mildly inconvenience a few teenagers. Ayy. As much of a delight as it's been to make a young boy face his existential future, rob a woman of her booze stash, and then self-reflect about the value of contextual relationships, it's all felt a little heavy-handed. I mean, what isn't heavy-handed at some point in this whole universe? Like that time somebody died because they respected the upper class too much. That definitely was heavy-handed. What you need is an emotional palate cleanser. There are 2 kids left on this tour de force, and both sound like they'd make exquisite friends. Time to go full-on easy mode here. You've heard so much about this guy, you feel like you've got this one the goddamn bag. With confidence, you zap yourself onwards. Alright, what's a good Dave Strider voice?
But this gap is even more.
I think definitely going to need something chill. What am I looking at? Oh, you're already here. Wherever here is blisteringly hot. You not instantaneously regret your choice of apparel. Why did you instinctively put your hoodie back on over this robe, gown? You the mailman or male person? This must be Dave. Rose mentioned he talked a lot, and as you start to explain, it becomes apparent he is having this conversation at you, not with you. Wow is unbelievably human. Can't relate. Person adjacent. Anyway, Egbert told me you show up eventually. Which I never doubt for a second, since one of the core tenets of the Unified States Postal Service is that you visit 4 extremely specific and spread out teenagers while sweating all over yourself. Practically a crime to not be increasingly moist while out here delivering letters on the roof of a skyrise. Which, as you know, is the most effective and legal way to drop off the post. Claimier than a New England potluck and wandering around on the roof with no package. It's actually really cool how much this kid seems to talk at you, but you're barely listening. Has the sun always been that red? Has the sky always been that wavy? Are you alright? You are hardly alright. You tug at the collar of your soggy mess of a hoodie. This is an overwhelming, oppressive heat. An almost impenetrable air fills your lungs as you try and take a series of shallower and shallower breaths. The world fades to white. That's blinding. When you wake up, you're sitting propped up on a cheap futon in front of a large television. A rough approximation of a person does an elaborate series of controlled falls culminating in what you can only describe as skateboarding for assholes. On your left, Dave exists in a quantum state that is both somehow sitting and laying down, but also neither. Sounds fancy. With the precision of a Swiss watchmaker, he deftly presses a series of buttons that makes the awful polygon man on screen T-pose and fall face forward into the ground. Man, do you ever look at a game and just think, I wish that were real? One day, skateboarding for assholes game. One day. Seconds later, his skateboard flops helplessly next to him. He doesn't look away from the screen as he speaks. So, I guess you lived. It's not that I'm invested, but John might be sad. Classic John. You try and emulate his incredibly casual body language as you slide your body down the futon. Your legs already barely reach the ground. Yeah, that guy's a dork, but I tell him everything he knows. You ask him if you taught him how to be a dork. Ooh, that's so bad it gave me a burn. You affect a completely uninterested face as though the sickness of your third-degree burn is not the single most exciting moment of your entire life. God damn, owned in my own home, owned within an inch of my life. I'm on the edge of reaching out that hand of friendship, and this chucklehead, long live the king's me. Thousands of gazelle trample my useless body as Jonathan Taylor Thomas's first son who watches the unknown. My goodness. Who will raise Simba now? Who's going to teach him about combat? Philosophy? Life? By the way, put your nasty sweatshirt in the shower. Okay, I leave this up to you, since this is the first choice novel. By the way, if there's a long silence here, it's because there's a bit of a delay between this and like when I'm recording and when you're getting it. Okay, second one. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. You are definitely the sort of person who says dope. Often and casually, you tell him, dopely, that you are a person who is not caught up in the small details of decorum or personal propriety. In fact, it doesn't bother you that I cannot read today, that he took your only worldly possessions and tossed them in the shower while you were unconscious. What's some light corpse looting among bros? Okay. Well, it dries, you can wear one of my bros shirts. Usually has a fresh stash in here. Dope, tight, sick. Nothing weird about hiding some shirts in the living room. Just gonna have a look-see. Holy shit, there are a lot of puppets in there. Yeah, dude, puppet zone. Enough said. My bro's got the market cornered on puppet-based endeavors. Backed up against the wall like a feral beast hissing for more plush-oriented content. The guy's probably just scared. Just wants to protect its nest and mouth-to-mouth feed its babies only the choicest puppets meant for a reasonable fee. What the fuck does any of that mean? You look back to Dave, but he's on his phone. God damn, that's so cool, actually. There's just something weird about this whole setup that you just can't put your finger on. For one, you can't seem to find any secret shirts anywhere. It's all just puppets and plushes and DJ equipment. Oh my. Yeah, with my bro, you have to think of the potential for an ironic payoff. That guy always one step ahead. Just when you think you've got figured out, it was all just some trap to make you think you've gotten his goat. That goat is long gone. Makes you think maybe there never was a goat. Maybe it was just some other barnyard animals all along. You've been duped into looking for a goat like some dumb asshole. Or maybe the goat gets you really subvert the whole thing. Take a second to wonder if he really is using the term ironic correctly in this instance. By dictionary definition, yes, a goat getting you is the opposite of how that situation should go. Thank God you said that. As you're about to reassure Dave that this joke tracks, you catch a movement in the corner of your eye. Was that a camera? No, it couldn't possibly have been a camera. Oh, nope, there it is again. There's a camera coming out of the ice dispenser. Look at all these, definitely not worrying decorations. It whirs softly as you approach, its mechanical eye trained on you. How long has this thing been watching? Is this Dave's? You lean in to take a closer look, but your foot catches on something. You fall flat on your face. Dave seems too engrossed in the conversation he's having on his phone to pay you much mind, occasionally mumbling something out loud a few times before presumably typing it out. You search for whatever it was that made you beef it so royally. You know, beef it, like fall down. That is a real phrase that humans say. A small tripwire stands taut a few inches off the ground. You must not have disturbed it enough to set off whatever contraption it's attached to, apparently. Oh yeah, sometimes they're more of a psych app. Like, you think, oh fuck me, I definitely beefed it, which is a phrase that is real. Okay, now that we've established that. And you sit there and waiting on bated breath, preparing to be fuck deep in velvety marionette dick. And it never comes. You go the rest of your day just waiting for a payoff for your dipshit mistakes. And it never comes. You wake up in cold sweats for weeks, yearning for a release that'll never find you, and it hits you. You've been fucking bamboozled by the master yet again. There's no elaborate booby trap. No Rube Goldberg device set to enact a series of complicated shenanigans, ultimately resulting in being buried alive in Kermit the Frog's plush amphibious dong. Beautiful, really. Damn, bro, you live like this? I mean, yeah, I guess. Keeps me on my toes. Heels never even met the ground. A primo ballerina with a head full of dreams and nothing to lose. God's gift to Plies ripping a straight, tasty tour around Lair for my adoring fans. They go apeshit for this sort of thing, but it's just another day in the life for the dancer extraordinaire Dave Strider. I haven't fallen for a trap like that since I was a baby. Trained. Real rookie mistake, mailman, looking tired maybe. Trained. Oh my god, is he mumble rapping at you? This is the greatest day of your life. Got more plush ass than a puppet lost and found. King Strider drops the illest farce, cause heavy is the crown. Rhyming puppet with puppet, call that puppet rhymes. Killing all ventriloquists, puppet on puppet crimes. He goes on like this for some time with what could be described as bars of a similar caliber. The narrative focus shifts to your inner thoughts out of necessity because it turns out writing raps is really hard. Not true. In fact, fun fact, that first time we had that whole rap battle thing, that was just to prove this singular statement wrong, because we were able to do that for... oh boy, there we go. We were able to do that for like an hour? I don't know. Anyway, he isn't exactly great, but you're not really a rap expert, despite what your social media opinions might imply. Unless you count Hatch to Dance, which of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Wait, what? What does that mean? Why'd you think that? whole scenario feels a little weird and familiar to you. Well, these kids feel a little familiar to you. You learn something new about Dave and you feel like you already sort of know it. You can't place it. Despite having met Dave no less than half an hour ago, something feels just slightly off about him. Something about his actions feels so performative in nature, like he's pantomiming in front of an audience. As Dave continues to rap, you remember that you are in front of an audience. You cast a glance over to the camera, but also to the hundreds of stuffed little creatures staring at you with their lifeless eyes. Amidst your revelation, we check back in on Dave because I'm getting paid to write this, so I should probably make with the fucking jokes already. Master my tool, I'm the ace. Hardware. Got more hoes than a gardener. Yard care. Nice. The chaotic and surreal energy of this scene. Oh. Yeah, I guess. Did say you'd only be able to make it to 10:15. Alright, we will save here. And catch up later. Next day that would be good. Well, after the 19th, I'm just gonna be way open, so we'll be able to do this whenever. But with that, I guess, see ya.